The other quirk was Faded, which in Darkest Dungeon there was a 10% chance to turn any miss into a hit. Roll, see if you miss, and then roll d20, and then on a 19 or 20, you
When I
supposedly
got the
hit.
card, it didn't have that. It said
I'm,
I can just change the hit.
I might have pulled it off a different
Okay.
table that was worded wrong. I have tables where it hasn't been edited from the Darkest Dungeon yet, so that's like
Yeah.
verbatim. They're not even very descriptive in like percentages on that table that I got, so it's just like whatever.
Okay. I
Subject
thought maybe you just wanted to change it
subject to future
just
change, but for
cause.
now it is what it is. He's got the card. It's worded the way it is. So any
Yeah.
miss, turn it into a hit. But it's a once off.
Once a day again.
I mean,
We were re-rolling the initiative, right? Like we didn't
I
roll it
believe so.
last week.
I believe so. We
Okay.
usually try to end it at the end of the initiative order. I could autopilot Mad God, and to nobody's surprise, he would Eldritch Blast twice per turn with a huge modifier and do lots of damage. Um, that's what he would want us to do, I think.
Let's just take this guy. Let's just take him out because he's annoying.
But I am gonna try to message him one more time just to see if we can get his attention. At
What's his face that like almost never shows up is not here again.
yeah, no
Yep.
see it either.
Just formal. Just formal.
He was here earlier. He didn't say anything, but I saw it. It said see a typing. All right. Yeah, this might be a very abbreviated game because it looks like we do not have the players. But after I didn't play my Saturday game either, I am jonesing for some D&D.
Oh, come on, they knew we were fighting the Shambler. What the fuck?
It is the holidays. It's hard to wrangle a bunch
Yeah.
of people together when they may or may not be at home. They could be out visiting
Well, it'd be
relatives or something.
nice if people would say that ahead of time. That way the rest of us can make other plans
Right?
instead of sitting on our ass for a half hour before playing Witcher. Because that's my backup plan.
Which one? Witcher 3?
Yeah, I never played 1 and 2.
One is so janky. I'm glad I played it, but I wouldn't want to go back to it.
Yeah, like I'm a little lost in some areas. It's like playing Mass Effect 3 without playing 1 and 2. But it's fun anyway, so
The whole
I
series
don't
is
give a
like
shit.
that. Like in the first game, he's got amnesia, so he even Geralt doesn't know anything that's going on in the first game. So the first game is very much just a random series of Geralt going to places and things happen.
Sounds right.
I mean, it does eventually get to the point, like towards the end, like there's this big deal with like a cult of Salamandra, and you do get like the barest hint of what ends up later being like the main villains from the other dimension, like the evil space elves or whatever.
Dark Eldar.
Dark Eldar. Um, the Wild Hunt. They're like evil space elves. They come from another dimension to raid and pillage in the world of The Witcher. It's pretty weird. I didn't even finish the second game. They don't go into much of that in the second game either. At least not in the first half that I played. I just bought Dark Souls 3. Boy, that game's hard.
I played the first Dark Souls and then I couldn't get into it. Like after a while, I was like bashing my head against the wall and I was just kind of like done.
Yeah, I mean,
Like I don't mind a challenging game, but like a game that just punishes you repeatedly is just not super fun to me.
I beat the first boss on the second try. And then I got to Vort of the Boreal Forest, and he's been kicking my ass pretty hard. He runs around on all fours, and he swings a really, really gigantic mace. And my character is a squishy little mage, so like one hit from this gigantic mace pretty much kills me.
It reminded me too much like when I was playing EverQuest 2, I was in a raiding guild, and playing Dark Souls reminded me too much about like going and finding a new raid and then like doing it for a week and losing, but like doing it 150 times till you figured out the technique to beat the raid.
See, the way I look at it, I think it's a very traditionally Japanese game. Because if you think about the way Japanese video games have always been since like the 80s, they've always been memorization games, essentially. Like, all of the enemies are in a spot, they spawn in the same spot, and you move through the level, and if you memorize where all of the enemy positions are, then you can just go through it by rote. You just memorize it, and then you just do it. That's what Dark Souls is. Dark Souls is like, here's the thing. You can get up to this point where it's hard, and then you have to memorize the pattern, and then you can get past it. And then it becomes easy. All you have to do is remember the sequence, just like block when he does this, dodge when he does that, do it exactly the same every time, and you win. Which is frustrating, because like you wanna run around and be like the cool hero dude and just slash through everything, but that's very hard in that game. Which is why I decided to play a squishy mage, and all I do is I just cheese the game. I like find weird angles where enemies will get caught on the environmental details, and then I'll just spam magic missiles at their face until they die from like 30 feet away. And then like if they can never hit me, then I can just make progress.
But then cheese the AI, basically.
I cheese the AI, but then I get to a boss, and they're like, no, you're in this little rectangular boss room, and he can hit you from almost anywhere at any time. So, like, if you're not learning the evasion pattern, you're dead.
Nope. I'm not mute myself.
What's up? Well, you're muted now. You weren't before. So what do you think, Psychofrog? Are you down for a one-shot, or are you not into that idea?
I'm just not feeling it.
All right. Well, it's 8:30. I'm gonna kill the stream, which I only just began, just to let the millions of fans, our viewers on Twitch, to learn that we're not gonna be running the game tonight.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Our fans.
Our millions of fans.